Now this, President Biden is slamming Republicans for saying the Democrats are big spenders. Roll tape.
Inflation Reduction Act takes the most aggressive action to confront our climate crisis ever, in all of human history, ever. We're going to do all this while reducing the deficit last year $350 billion, and this year by $1 trillion. I'm so sick of Republicans saying we're the big spenders. Give me a break.
Okay. Steve Forbes joins us this Monday morning. Steve, last time I checked, nobody spends money like Democrats. Where am I going wrong?
Well, they are spending. And because the deficit's coming down because of inflation, kicking people into higher tax brackets, and they're not spending quite as much as they did during the COVID lockdowns, he thinks that that makes them non-spenders. They are spending. The numbers are there. Unfortunately, the one area where they're not spending is national defense, where we have very, very real needs in Europe and the Pacific. Our inventories of weapons are running down, and this guy's oblivious to it. So unfortunately with him, just take the opposite of what he says is the truth, sadly. They are big spenders.
But the truth also is that Republicans are also big spenders. They're not the lean and mean party of whatever it was back when. They're spenders too, aren't they?
Yes, they are. Their only virtue is, well, we're not as big as spenders as the Democrats, but they're still sinful. Small sins, but they're still sinning. And that's why I think the American people want a real change after November. They want to see real policies on reducing this bloated spending. But unfortunately, what the Republicans did on that so-called chip bill, the so-called infrastructure bill, shows that when pork is in the air, the smell entices even supposedly conservative Republicans.
You have a way with words, Steve, and that's a fact. Now, in Britain, Prime Minister Truss says she's going to drop this tax cut for high-income earners. You've got to be disappointed about this. She was kind of a breath of fresh air. She was a Thatcherite, and now she's in retreat.
Well, this just goes to show how the establishment in the UK and around the world and in this country today just don't get what makes for economic growth, which is reducing burdens on people rather than increasing them. And I was sad to see that she's retreated in Britain. I think they hope that by jettisoning that cut from 45 to 40% for so-called top earners, which is about $170,000 a year, they can save the rest of their tax cut program. I think it's a case where you give up nothing and go for it, because she should keep emphasizing that they're going to have a hard winter. Everyone knows that, but she's planting the seeds for a spring where finally, for the first time in years, Britain can be a leader in economic growth instead of a laggard.
Not going to happen by the looks of it. Hey, Steve Forbes, thanks for joining us. I know we'll see you soon. Thank you, sir.
You.
You got it.